Dillon Precision just launched their bullet feeder, and we've got some awesome content coming. In this video, we're gonna get the bullet feeder out of the box. We're gonna get it set up on the XL750, load some pistol ammo, do a full caliber changeover, load some more pistol ammo, and in the next video, we're gonna attack rifle. Let's get to it. Hey guys, Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com. I have been waiting patiently for my Dillon bullet feeder, and it's here. So let's get this baby out of the box. Okay, so we got everything out of the box, and in typical Dillon fashion, everything was packed really nicely and there was zero damage. So this is the heart of the new Dillon bullet feeder. Of course, it's gonna be the Dillon blue color, right? We knew that before we even got the box open. And we've got a pre-installed feed ring there. And this is the rest of the caliber conversion kit that comes with the unit. Now I will note here that we've got two mounting poles. You're going to select that when you order your bullet feeder from the website for a particular machine. So it's going to come with one of those, the mounting bracket. We've got die-lock rings here, owner's manual. I have some extra hardware. There is a multi-voltage power adapter that comes with multiple options, be it 120 or 240 for different regions. We're going to use the North America plug right there, of course. And then I've got all of the other caliber conversion kits. So what's in this bag is represented with what comes in the machine. We can see the feed ring here that's pre-installed when you order the bullet feeder. So here we've got 45 ACP, we've got this is 10 millimeter 40 Smith & Wesson. We've got the 9 millimeter that's also available. We've got 22 caliber, and then we've got 30 caliber. So we're going to cover two of the caliber conversion kits in this video, the pre-installed 9 millimeter, and we'll do a second one. Just know that on the pistol and rifle side, you've got all of the options that I just listed. What I'm going to do next is read the instructions, and then we'll get going on the install. Before I get started on the install, I wanted to mention two important deals that we've worked with Dillon. The first is through the end of May 2025, if you use the code URMAY, you'll get free shipping on all Dillon products, and that includes the Dillon bullet feeder. The second is if you go to ultimatereloader.com/subscribe, we're going to give a complete bullet feed setup to one of our newsletter subscribers. We're going to choose that person at random. So again, go to ultimatereloader.com, subscribe now before time runs out to be included and eligible for that giveaway. Okay, so I've read the instructions, and where we're going to start with this is to install the mounting bracket. Okay, so the mounting bracket mounts with the two screws which are pre-installed in the steel base. And so I used the diagram and the instructions to get that oriented correctly. Now there's three different positions, 1, 2, and 3, that are marked by cutouts here on the bracket. And Dillon suggests starting with number 2, which is the middle position. So Dillon has done some of the work for us because the caliber conversion kit is installed, and I'm just going through the instructions step by step. So I'm going to cover some of the things that you would do if you were assembling this from scratch. The bullet disc gets mounted to the bowl, and the bowl gets installed in the feeder. And then we have what's called a bullet chute, which is this part right here that we would install. And of course, all of that work has been done because the caliber conversion kit is pre-installed. Next, we're going to take this spring, which Dillon calls the bullet conduit spring. We're going to feed that through the front of the bowl there. And then we're going to relax the clamp on the chute so we can see that open up, and then twist this in a clockwise direction to feed it into the opening. That feels like that's going to do it, and now we're going to clamp it down a little bit with the clamp. So next we're going to take the pole mounting hardware and we're going to swap it for pole mounting hardware with longer bolts, and then we've got these tube adapters that are going to go in line as well, and that will get the mounting pole for the Dillon bullet feeder in place. So now that we've got the pole securely mounted, we're going to take the bracket from the bullet feeder, slide that over the top, and then we've got this screw here that we can use to secure it in place, and this will allow us to adjust the angle and the height. Okay, so we're going to take the bullet conduit spring and insert that into the lower block here. There's a little clamp, just like on the upper portion. Okay, we're going to set that aside, and then we can also take our power cord, which I've plugged into AC power, and plug that in. So next, I'm going to take off the powder measure, and we're going to exchange the powder funnel that we normally use for 9mm for the special one for the bullet feeder. So next we're going to set up the bullet dropper die, and this is going to involve removing the sleeve. And what we've got here is we've got a sized and flared case, and we've got the bullet that we're going to be using, which is the Berry's 124 grain hollow base round nose. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put the sleeve on the case, we're going to drop the bullet down, and then I'm going to look through these holes, and we want to be near the tip of the bullet but not beyond it, and that means we're going to use the topmost holes. These steps are from the instructions here. So I'm going to take a ball bearing, put that in one of the upper spots, take another ball bearing. I have them corralled on this little rubber band so they don't get lost, which almost happened there. Okay. And then we can slide this sleeve in. Yep. Okay. So after sliding the sleeve in, now being careful not to let the ball bearings fall out of their keepers, we're going to put the top lock ring back on. Now we can install it in the press. So I've already moved the seating and crimping dies from stations number 3 and 4 to stations number 4 and station number 5. That opens up station number 3 for the bullet dropper die. So we're just going to go ahead and start that in. We're going to take our sized and flared case, and again this has been flared with the powder funnel expander that we got with the bullet feed caliber conversion kit for 9mm. It's a slightly different profile that's going to be optimized for bullets. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to raise that all the way to the top. I'm going to go ahead and put some bullets into the bullet dropper die. Base first, of course, just like they're going to go into the case. Now we're going to screw this down until we hear the bullet drop. That was right there. And then we're going to go an extra half turn. And there is our first bullet dropped by the bullet dropper die. So I just locked down the lock ring for the bullet dropper die, and that's going to preserve our setting. The next thing is to get the bullet switch attached and wires connected. So that covers the basic setup of the Dillon bullet feeder. And again, we're running 9mm here, so I'm gonna get some 9mm cases and some bullets into the respective hoppers, and we'll get things run up here. Okay, so we've got cases loaded, we've got bullets dropped. Let's run up this 9mm setup and see how things are going to work. Take it a little bit slow at first. Here we go. And it looks good there. All right. Okay, so I feel really good about our 9mm setup. It's kind of interesting to be loading with all blue and not have bullet placement with my left hand. This setup is looking great, and so what I want to do next is I'm going to pick our next cartridge that we're going to load, another handgun caliber, and we'll start the conversion process for that. So, surprise, surprise, we're going with 45 ACP. That's right, I wanted to pick two handgun cartridges that are real popular that you might want to load on your machine. So I just removed the bullets, as simple as basically turning the bullet feed switch off, and then you lift on the bullet switch, and that's going to remove any of the bullets that are in that bullet switch. And now what we can do is take the spring off. So that's going to be just an Allen key up here. We'll let that kind of hang there, remove the switches. Now we can take the entire bullet feed bowl off and empty the bullets back into the box. Okay, so now when we take the tool head off for this 9mm setup, this bullet dropper die and the bullet switch can stay on there. Next time we want to load 9, we just hook that stuff back up and we'll be good to go. So next I'm going to prepare to do the caliber changeover between 9mm to 45 with the Dillon bullet feed assembly. Okay, so in preparation for the caliber changeover, I've gotten everything out of the bag. This is what you get with a Dillon bullet feeder caliber conversion kit. We've got the caliber specific bullet ring, the bullet dropper die, in this case for 45 caliber. We've got the bullet chute, the bullet switch, the bullet feeder optimized powder funnel for the powder measure, and then two different spring length options. For the Dillon XL 650 and 750, we use the shorter spring, and then for other configurations, we'll use the longer spring. So we're going to start by taking the drop tube spring and removing that from the bullet chute. And then we're going to go ahead and take the bullet chute off from this center hub plate. So next we're going to remove the center plate. So next we're going to take the entire bowl assembly out, and as you can see here, there are some screws, 6 of them, that hold the disc to the bowl. This is the disc here. I'm attempting to use proper Dillon nomenclature. So I'm going to remove the 6 screws, we'll place this disc, and then the bowl will be ready to put back in. With the bowl in place, we can now take the center plate, install the chute on the center plate, 40 to 45, and then install the center plate in the bullet feeder. So now we're going to take the drop tube spring, feed it through the bowl and into the chute. Probably need to loosen our clamp a little bit here. We'll get this fed in, clamp down, and then drop the bowl onto the press. Okay, so now we have the case feed bowl conversion complete. Next, I'm going to remove all of the 9mm components and the tool head, all of that. Get 45 ACP ready, and then we'll continue with the bullet feed components for 45 caliber. So we got the press set up. In fact, we used the same powder measure because we're going from 5.2 grains for 9mm up to 6 grains of CFE 223 for 45 ACP. Put on the new tool head, adjusted the dies, got the case feed plate swapped over. So now we're ready to take this bullet dropper die. I'm going to take this apart and do the same thing I did for the 9mm die to get those ball bearings set to the appropriate height. So now we'll take the bullet dropper die and install it in the press. Just like we did with 9, we'll load it up with a few bullets. This is essentially the same bullet as we had in 9mm. This is the hollow base round nose, but this is 185 grain for 45 caliber. So we'll put some of these in here until we kind of see them up at the top. Should be good. And we'll raise the ram to the top of its stroke, wait for a bullet to drop. Right there. And then half turn more, right there. And then lock down the lock ring. Now, just like we did last time, we can take the bullet switch and install that in place. Finally, we connect the wires. Okay, so now we're ready to add components. Okay, so I added cases to the case feeder. I'm going to dump some bullets in the bullet feeder and we'll get things loaded up. They are all falling out. Okay, so I got bullets in the collator, but what's happening is The bullets that are nose down are falling back into the bowl like they should, but the ones that are base down that should be going down the tube are also falling down. So I need to make an adjustment and then we'll be off and running. Okay. Wow, that was easy. All I had to do was crank the knob and I could see the plate come up and down that does the kickoff. And that just had to come up a little bit so that the edge, the radius edge of the bullet with base down could ride past it rather than falling off of it. Really easy measurement. That's really the only fiddling that I did was right there real time in the video. So with bullets dropped and with our case feed drop tube loaded, we're ready to run the machine up. There we go, got our first bullet fed in there. Well, there we go. The press is running smooth. And for both 9mm and 45 ACP, we had 0 bullets upside down so far, which is a really good testament to the reliability of the machine. Of course, we're going to need to run this a bunch more to fully put it through its paces. But so far, I'm really impressed. Easy to set up, easy to adjust. For 9mm, all we did was set the height of the bullet dropper die. Everything else worked perfectly. For 45 ACP, we set the height of the bullet dropper die, and then we also made that slight adjustment on that kickout plate, which has the knob up there that you turn to raise and lower that portion. Very intuitive and easy to use and set up. And like I said, there's caliber conversion kits for 9mm, for 10mm, and 40 Smith & Wesson. We've got 45 ACP, 22 caliber, and 30 caliber. So that pretty much wraps up this video. And in our next video, we're going to take a look at 2 different rifle cartridges, kind of like we did 2 different pistol cartridges in this video. But don't forget, through the month of May 2025, if you use the URMay discount code, you'll get free shipping on all Dillon products, including the Dillon bullet feeder. Also, make sure you go to ultimatereloader.com/subscribe to get subscribed for our mailing list, because we're going to give away one of these Dillon bullet feeder setups to a randomly chosen member of the newsletter subscriber base. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really excited about this new Dillon bullet feeder. I'd love to hear what you think of it. Drop a comment and we'll meet you guys down there in the comments section. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.